Guys, welcome back to another episode of Daniel Sports Ledger Sports Betting Tips and Picks for Sports Betters. As you know, I'm Daniel Cameron, the host. I did send invites out already to JB the Ticket, who has a lot to say. Hopefully, he'll be on here. To Jared, to Kimball, and to Joe Perez. So just win Joe. So we'll see who we can get on today. No doggies today, okay? They're out there playing in the mud, and I'm not letting them in today. So, by the way, I did adopt a second dog. So I adopted the brother. Um, so you'll meet him maybe next week. But no doggies, no need a bear today. So got some good games today. We've got a big one here with the Bills here. Boosted them to minus 13 and a half. Um, Should be the annihilation of the Carolina Panthers. We should absolutely destroy them. Coming off a bye, Josh's Josh Allen's mom called him and was like, "Hey, you need to have more fun out there." I apologize. I'll probably be looking this way a lot today because um, this is where I have the Bills game, and this is the one I'll be watching mostly today. So let me just make sure everything's muted on here today. All right, we're all good. So yeah, big one here. I boosted the Bills to minus 13 and a half. And then also we have um big one on the bet on the Buccaneers. Boosted them to minus 6.5 today. So that's gonna be pretty awesome. And then so we'll get that going. Uh I would love to see Carolina go up 7-0, and then we could just and play that, you know what I mean? Get that live bet down real quick and easy. Um, got all these games on here. We'll see. You know, we'll see what we can get going here today. Let me turn the brightness up on this a little bit. I turned it down because I don't have my iPad fully charged, but it's on a charger, but this charger, charges slower than normal charger would. It's like on a charger stand that it sits on. So normally, like if I'm watching the games after about 3 hours, it might with the games and everything, it might charge 1%, 1 or 2%. It doesn't charge much because um how much it's you know being used as well, and the charger doesn't quite keep up just as well. But so it should maintain just fine. So not a big deal, but I did turn the brightness down just a little bit to help it charge more, but got that back up. So we're good now. Um Quick three and out for the Panthers as expected. We do have the Bills rookie is making an appearance, our number one draft pick, Maxwell Hairston. I didn't, I'm talking on here, so I didn't notice if he came into the or if he made any plays on that first three and out or not. But yeah, like I was saying, Josh Allen's mom called him and was like, "Hey, struggling out there. You just gotta have some fun. Get back to having fun out there. So I expect Josh to start slinging it a little bit more, take the pressure off of himself, have some more fun today, and you know, it should be good. Speaking of the Bills, if I was the GM, I would do everything I could to try to trade for the receiver over in Minnesota, Justin Jefferson. Uh, I would start with by offering 3 first-round picks. The Bills draft good after the first round anyways. We're good drafters. Start with 3 first-round picks for Justin Jefferson, and I'd go all the way up to 5 first-round picks for Justin Jefferson if that's what it took to get him. And I would be like, "Look, this would be the biggest trade in history." You know, um, and you know, Justin's not getting them to a Super Bowl without a quarterback there. They were stupid to get rid of Sam Darnold. I said that last year, that was a mistake. It's proven to be a mistake. Uh, you know, what's his name's coming off the ACL, and I think he's already been hurt a little bit this year. So, oops, hold on. Oops, here we go. Let me just um, there we go. I think he's already been hurt a little bit this year, and quarterback from Michigan. I'm trying to JJ McCarthy, and yeah. So I mean, I coming off the ACL, everybody knows it really takes 2 full years. Personally, I would have kept Sam Darnold, let him sit another year. I said it last year. It was stupid to get rid of him, and it was. It's proven to be stupid. Big 3rd and 8 here for the Bills. I think they already picked up a first down though, because they are a little ways down the field. Um, oh yeah, I believe they did. Okay, so here we go. Oh, nice little stutter there. I think that was Shakir. Yeah, Shakir getting him the ball early and often here today. Um, so yeah, this is gonna be a good game. Right now the Bears, I believe the Bears are driving. I think they're in the red zone. I'm not sure. Do like the Bears a lot in this game. Went on. We talked 7-0 already. Eagles here. And I missed how they scored. It must have maybe a big play. But we talked about the Bears on the radio show in Vegas today, and so hey, my buddy's back. And here we go. Ban user and delete their comments. There we go. Cool. Um, but yeah, with the Bears, they are yeah, the first and goal. I said I like the Bears today, even if they had Lamar. Believe he's out today, but even with Lamar, I like the direction the Bears are getting. They're getting better every week with Ben Johnson. Let's talk college just for 1 second. How about Indiana, man? They look legit, like they could win it all. It's insane how legit they seem to be. It's a shocker. I mean, every week I'm just waiting for them to fold, but every week they're just blowing teams out. They must be the real deal. All right. 2nd and 4, Bills hand it to number 4, James Cook, who runs for about 8. Um, 3rd and 10 here for the Giants. This would be a good one maybe if you like the Giants. I mean, because I kind of feel like Giants cover the spread today, and they're down 7. Um, it's gonna be 4th and 10. They're probably gonna punt. So this one might be a good time to take the Giants plus the points. Pardon me. I changed jobs recently. I think I talked to you guys about that. It was so nice getting home last night at 9 o'clock instead of 3 a.m. that I was getting home, or 3:30 a.m. I was getting home on Sundays. So I would be exhausted, starting this podcast. That's why a couple times I started it at 1. Um, this time I'm tired again today a little bit. Got home at 9, but I planned to stay up for a little while, but man, I fell asleep real quick. And woke up at 5:30 this morning. This time my dog didn't even have to wake me up. I woke up before my dog. Um, well rested, but now I've been up for 5 hours already. Um, I wish I would have slept a couple more hours, but it is what it is. So, pretty s but, it's still I feel a lot more rested than I did previously. Um, but yeah, 4th and 10 for the Bills. Panthers, defense going bananas right now. See what happened here. I mean, the Bills are still in field goal range, it looks like here. Yeah, they sacked Josh Allen. That's pretty tough feat to do right there. No wonder he's so excited. All right, Matt Prater, 45 yarder should be nothing for him. Right down the middle. Speaking of which, um, what was the game? Yes, saw one of the most entertaining 13-10 games yesterday. It was I don't know why all of a sudden it just slipped my mind. Let me just it's right there on the tip of my brain. Um for a 10-13 game, you wouldn't think that'd be very entertaining, but I'm sorry, it was 12-13. SMU and Wake Forest. Um Wake Forest, they fumbled the ball twice in the they fumbled the ball twice in their own like on the 3-yard line. Did everything they could. SMU just couldn't get their offense working. I don't know why, but did everything they could to lose that game. And SMU punted at the end. They made a big play, Wake Forest at the end. The kicker, his longest kick was 43 yards. And so this was a 50-yard kick. And kicked this ball. Obviously they he made it. They won the game, but it literally went about an inch over the goalpost, and it came down and it, like, hit the middle of the goalpost pad that goes around the big goalpost, that big pad right there. It just hit, like, so the trajectory of the ball was so small over it that it went and doinked off of the pad of the goalpost. Um, I mean, it just barely cleared that goalpost. That was pretty exciting ending. But that was actually yeah, for a 13-12 game, that was actually a pretty entertaining game. Um, all right, not much happening in some of these games right now. Yeah, that's definitely a holding. The guy was about to sack Hurts. Oh man, he was being held for like 8 yards and still got to Hurts. Um, well, the guy finally tackled him right as he got to Hurts, so he didn't actually get to Hurts, but Let's see what we got here. All right, the red rifle is out here again. Andy Dalton, and he gets a first down to McMillan. McMillan's a solid little player, man. He's kind of like Khalil Shakir for the Bills. All right, so the Bears did get the field goal. They should have had a touchdown, but they got a field goal out of that. Well, I think that's the rookie right there, Harrison. Let's see. I missed the play, but he's clearly in on it. Holding on the offense. Oh, maybe holding on the defense. I see that on Poyer. Oh, I wanted to see that what happened with Harrison there, but oh, it was like a 70-yard run by Saquon Barkley, or 65-yard. Okay, cool. And that receiver is definitely offsides for the Panthers. I don't think they'll call it. Huge run by Dowdle. Of course, they're not going to call the offensive offsides. They were calling that for a while, and now they went back to not calling it again. See what happens here. We might be able to get a little in play here with the Bills. Oh, fumble! Bills got the ball. Panthers were driving. Bills knocked the ball out. Believe that was Andy Dalton that fumbled that. Woohoo! Terrell Bernard picked it up. I'm not sure who knocked it out. Oh yeah. Big old Greg Rousseau. Rousseau. Big old paw came from behind. Boom, knocked that out of Andy Dalton's hand. Buffalo Bills football. Naked bootleg for the 49ers for about 12 yards as a flag, but that's Manny's favorite play, especially in Madden, but also in these games. Always says run the naked bootleg. Oh, looks like it's coming back. It works every time, the naked bootleg. Ooh, another guy I get to ban. When will they learn? When will they learn? Second you put it up, the second it goes down. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are getting rid of all the spammers. All the spammers are gone. Guys, I am just a little chilly in here, so I'm going to grab a jacket, drink of water. I will be back in 1 minute. Be right back. All right, I am back. Look at this jag I got right here, guys. See this right here? Della Piane, right here, the best restaurant in Sedona, Arizona. Best restaurant. Now, full disclosure, I'm a little biased as I am the general manager at Della Piane. But regardless, best restaurant. Top 25 in Arizona for hamburgers. Best steaks, 3 years in a row. Argentine grill. You got empanadas. It's oh, fantastic restaurant. The world class chef owner, so it's fantastic. So if you're in Sedona, check out Della Piane Argentine restaurant. It's phenomenal, phenomenal. We got some more comments here. All right. Ban user and delete comments. Ha ha ha. Another one bites the dust. And another spammer's gone. And another spammer's gone. And another one bites the dust. Giants get on the board. And this is what I said. I said you could take them. I think they're going to get in the spread today. Big old touchdown by number 44. Big, you are a big son of a gun if you wear number 44, Anytime you wear like the double digits, like if, even like as a running back, right? Emmett was like a pretty stacked running back, 22, right? If you're wearing double digits, now maybe not 11, 11 might be the exception, but if you're wearing 22, you're probably like a bigger running back. If you're wearing 33, right, you're probably like a safety, right? A bigger, defensive back kind of guy. If you're wearing 44, you're a big old fullback or tight end, If you're wearing 55, you're a stacked linebacker, right? Is that what Ray Lewis wore? 55 or 54, something like that. Oh no, he wore 52. But if you're wearing 55, right? But Ray Lewis was actually kind of smaller. Um, but yeah, you wearing 55, right? You wearing 66, right? You big old son of a gun, right? Probably on the offensive line, 77, 88, you're probably a bigger sized receiver, right? Like T.O. I mean, yeah, T.O. or um what I was thinking was Michael Irvin or, I believe Des Bryant were 88, maybe. Um But yeah, you wearing 99, you a big old defensive tackle. When you're wearing those double digits, man, with the exception of 11. If you're wearing number 11, you probably like that little Khalil Shakir kind of guy. Although he doesn't wear 11, but Roscoe Parrish back in the day, love Roscoe. One of the best, most exciting. You held your breath when he was catching a punt return, man. That dude was so exciting to watch. Um, but yeah, little tiny guy, we're number 11. So you're probably like one of those little speedster receiver kind of guys. You're wearing 11. You look at like Kyle Pitts, right? He's not a big tight end. He's like the small, shifty receiver kind of tight end, right? He wears number 8, right? He doesn't, he's not wearing, you know, 33 or something like that, 88, something like that. He's not in those tight end numbers. He's wearing number 8. So, you know, you get you wearing those double digits, you probably big for your position. That's all I'm saying. Most likely, most of the time, I feel like that is kind of the rule. It's kind of the rule there. Dolphins are up 7-0. This might be a great perfect time to take the Falcons to come back and win this game here. It's in Atlanta. My Atlanta. 4th and 3. End up throwing it away here. Doesn't look like it's not their normal quarterback in there, is it? Yeah, that's not their normal quarterback. Check this out. Let's see who's playing for the Falcons right now. Oh yeah, it's Cook Cousins is in there today, huh? The old cookie. I don't know why he's wearing 18. That's weird for him, I feel like. Texans in the red zone here. Let's see what we got here. Let's check out the lines here right now. Ooh, James Cook couldn't make it. Let's check these lines out here. See what we got here. Okay, Falcons -3.5 right now. Yeah, I don't know that I'd take that right now. Jets are down 10 already, getting plus 11.5. I kind of like that. In fact, I even think Vegas thinks Jets are going to come back because they only put it at 11.5. Brownies up on the Patriots. Patriots are -3.5 now. I kind of thought the Brownies might win this game, so I don't know that I'd touch that. Bills up to -12.5. I told people to take them at 13.5 before the game, so there you go. Bears -1.5 right now. They're up 6. I mean, that's a good one right there. We can take the Bears. Um, Texans -5.5. They're up 3 and driving in the red zone. I don't know. You know, might be a good chance to take the Niners plus 5.5. So, nothing too special here right now. The only one I really love right now would be the Bears -1.5. That's the one I like right now. Um, um oh man, he is back again. Penn State's not even ranked now. I fucking love it. Fuck those child molesters. All right. Bill's driving here. 2nd and 11, the 19. And guess we must have a false start. Maybe 2nd and 16. I didn't see it, but apparently the official saw it. Saying Deion Dawkins. He's trying to look up where did I false start at? Ooh, inaccurate pass, but Josh got it to him. It's gonna be third and half a yard. I'm just saying, I look good in this jacket, man. Yeah, I look good in this jacket. First down, QB sneak, and of course, there's a fucking flag. It's gotta be a flag. They always gotta throw a goddamn flag. False start again, they said. Bullshit. Let me see this. Oh, illegal formation. That's different. Josh is livid. Let's see. Saying there's too many. That's bullshit. That is nope. That's not a legal formation. That's fucking bullshit. So now it's third and six. Damn, that 10 was open. All right, Josh. Josh is just running for his life, and he takes a 15-yard sack. Just nobody fucking open, dude. We got to get Justin Jefferson, man. Like I said, I give up 5 first-round picks for Justin Jefferson. Now, I wouldn't start there, right? I'm gonna start at 3, right? If they don't want to do that, I'd go to 4. If they don't want to do that, I'd be like, look, all right, I'll give you the greatest trade in history. 5 first-round picks our next 5 years for Justin Jefferson. Fucking do that in a heartbeat. And if I both teams, if I was the Vikings GM, I would do that in a heartbeat. If I'm the Bills GM, I'd do it in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. I'd be like, skippity doo. The heart beats for this trade. Carolina. It means a whale's vagina. Ooh. All right, 43-yard field goal for the Bills again. Last one was from 45. This one 43. And right down the middle once again. Man, that is crazy. It is crazy, man. Like 5 first rounders I'd give for Justin Jefferson in a heartbeat. Who is this lady? I don't understand commercials in tattoo parlors. Tattoo parlors are like the dirtiest places on earth. You know what I mean? It's just like it's not necessarily that they're like messy dirty, I don't know, but like you just feel you just feel fucking dirty when you're in a tattoo parlor. You know? I don't know what it is. It just feels fucking dirty, dude. You know, and you always have those like touchdown Ravens. You always have those dudes with just like a black spot tattoo, you know? It's just like all like they were trying to cover it up. So it's just like all black or something. Just looks like they have mud on their arm all the time. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's just something about a tattoo parlor that's just it's just fucking dirty, dude. I don't I, I mean I don't feel comfortable in those tattoo parlors, man. I don't have anything wrong with tattoos or anything like that. I mean, but um, I don't know, just being there in the parlor, just I don't know. It's kind of like you know, yeah, maybe not. I was gonna make an example, but maybe that example doesn't work after all. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't film a commercial in a tattoo parlor. I don't get that. You know, this new kickoff rule, man, I've tried to get into it, man. Um, I just think it fucking sucks, dude. It does. It's stupid. I'm talking about how Andy Dalton saved the Bills. Finally got back to the playoff. Beat the Ravens. Ooh. Red Rifle throws a strike. Shoots a bullet. I like Andy Dalton, man. I like that guy. He's a good guy. Christensen. Good stop by Buffalo Joe. Joe Andreessen. Make third down and two, something like that. Good open field tackle right there for him not to get the first down. Third and three. It's third and two. Panthers pick up the first down. This Panthers team, they look like they're having more fun out there with Dalton than they do with Bryce Young. No, no, if I said Dolphins, I meant Panthers. Carolina. It means a whale's vagina. Hey, he's back. Back again. Spammer's back. Tell a friend. Oh yeah, bitches. You gone now. Spammers think they slick. Oh, he's back again so soon? So soon. That's a shame. Panthers have to kick a field goal. What a shame. Yeah, I just dropped a wide open pass. Mm, nah, it was a bad throw by Dalton. 46-yarder, Ryan Fitzgerald. That name sounds made up. It's up and it is down the center. It's not Ryan Fitzpatrick. It's Ryan Fitzgerald. Better get it right. Eagles another touchdown, up 14-7 now. Probably see the Giants drive down and tie it. It's gonna be a high scoring game, I think, this Eagles Giants game. With trash driving him down there again. Secure. Big first down. Man, they just can't tackle him, man. It's weird. Like they'll even get him down by his legs. You just can't ever. He's just so shifty somehow. It's like you have him like this, and then he like steps out of your grasps or something. It's crazy how he does that. Ooh, big run by Cook, and he's gone for a touchdown. James Cook, 50 plus yard touchdown, does a flip into the end zone. James Cook, huge play. Let the man cook. I'm eating whatever he's cooking. Ooh, what is that? 65? 65. I think that's what Saquon had. 65-yard rushing touchdown. Bills up 13-3 now. And nope, Bills up 12-3. He missed the extra point. I don't get it. The extra point's 30 or 40 yards or something. He just hit two beyond 40. And then he's missing that. I don't get that. Oh no, the extra point I think is 35. Yeah, I don't get that. Ohio State versus Child Molestation State. This is Bill's ad them baptizing the babies on the table. It's fucking hilarious. Blasphemy, but hilarious. 64-yard touchdown run there. Yeah, they're just showing that the Bills have like the number one rushing offense in the NFL, just about, and just about the worst rushing defense. Way to find that hole. All right, and the Panthers are punting. Andy's pissed. Totally missed the throw. Hold on 1 second, guys. Okay, guys, I'm sorry about that. My my dad, I try to tell him how to feed the dog, and he just um threw some food down or whatever. And my girl dog, she if there's any food down on the ground or anything like that, and she sees a dog trying to eat it, oh man, she attacks it. Now the my male dog, he's much bigger than her, but we also had one that was even way bigger than him that she used to beat up. But but yeah, she is so protective of like human food. You know, if it's regular dog food, she doesn't really care. But uh, man, I heard them fighting out there, and yeah, she is such a good fighter. Like, and she just beats the shit out of them. She gets on 'em just clawing them and biting them, and um, he's like, my male dog, and they're brother and sister, and he was afraid to even. He's over there, the way away from her, like he's afraid to even go by her hardly. Um, Pretty funny, but yeah, she don't mess around. You know, I keep telling my dad to just stop like feeding them because he just, you really have to like hand feed them at the same time. And well, plus he threw he was giving them like shredded cheese, which some of it's gonna fall on the ground, of course, right? So that was the biggest issue. Some of it fell on the ground, but yeah, you can't. You if you give them each a dog treat at the same time and hand feed them, they're okay that way. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'm watching the Panther show. They look susceptible to like a fake punt the way they line up. What's going on in that Bengals game, right? Because they thought I had that game on. Maybe it's the one on commercial. Okay, Bengals up 17-10 on the Jets right now. 13-0 Texans over the Niners. Um, Browns still up on the Patriots, but now it's 7-6. That's sad about Nick Mangold dying. Guess he died of a kidney issue. He man, nothing but respect for that guy. Center for years. I think he played guard once in a while too, but he Nick Mangold was an absolute beast, man. He should be a Hall of Famer. If he As far as I know, he's not. Hold on one second, guys. All right, guys, we're back. Sorry about that. Ooh, sorry. It's my dad interrupting. Okay, it looks like the Panthers got a first down here. Ooh. All right, let's check these scores again real quick. I'm just not sure what we want to jump on right here. Dolphins in the red zone again. The Dolphins get a touchdown here. I think that's when we take the Falcons. But again, Kirk has just been so bad, man. His just career just went down the drain. I think what we want to do here is take this fucking guy. So I think what we're gonna do here is take the Bears. Okay, that's where we're going right there. Okay. Ah, what is uh, we're gonna do Bears money line plus 210. 225 now. There you go. All right, guys. So here we go. Here, this is two. Oops, one too many twos. I thought so. Okay, so um, 225. Okay, so 225 is what that's supposed to be. So oh, I think the Bills just got an interception or something. Something happened here for Buffalo. I just missed it trying to get this live bet up here. Oh, and a pick six by Epinesa? What a play. Oh, I think that's a touchdown. I think that they've got to review that. I think he got in the end zone. Epinesa. It was so funny because I don't know what's with why is my should be like that. There we go. I don't know what was going on there. I think the Bills should have reviewed that. But either way, they push Allen in the end zone. Touchdown. This is what I said. Bills minus 13.5. Said it on the radio station. So we're gonna be up what 15-16. Should be 7. They might go for 2 here. I still think Amenesa got in there. Reggie Gilliam with the push. So yeah, that is supposed to be 225, not 2025. 225. See what the Bills do here. Okay, they kick the extra point again. Hopefully he makes this one. So Bills up 16. All right. Okay. 16. Let's see what happened here with the Ravens here at the end of the half. Because I think they must have been maybe. Yeah. So I'm guessing that went down. I think we grabbed that 225 right at the right time. What the heck? So it's halftime now, and I don't think it's going to be 225 right now. Okay, it's 220. So, we did grab it right at the right time, but Bengals up 14 again on the Jets. Texans 16 nothing now. Patriots up by 2 now after another field goal. $14-10. That's when I said the Giants probably come back in. So yeah. But yeah, so this is supposed to say 225, not 2,225. Clearly I went to fix this here, but yeah, so that's the live bet right now that we got on. And as soon as this Bills game hits halftime here, gonna probably end the podcast here. So we'll be on for just another minute here. And something up with Ed Oliver's arm, maybe. Looking at something on him. Looks more just like a cut or something. I don't know. Oh, actually, that was just a great block. I was gonna say that was a holding, but in fact, it was just a fantastic block by whoever that was on the Panthers. It's big 79. Big 79, their left tackle. Phenomenal block. Give credit what credit's due. Nice. Oh, he didn't get the tackle though. 21. I think that was Trey White right there. Should have stuck him in his tracks, but didn't. Dowdle just ran over him. Yeah, Panthers got all the time in the world right here. Big sack. That knocks him out of field goal range. Joey Bosa and Rousseau. Dude, Joey Bosa's quietly having a pretty sneaky good year for the Bills this year, man. Nobody's talking about Bosa that much, other than maybe the Bills, but the media's not really talking about Bosa. But if he puts together another 3 weeks the way he's been putting together these games, I think he's gonna start getting a lot of media attention because I mean he's sneakily putting together a really good year. Joey Bosa. Oh, JB's the ticket is on, so let's get JB on here.
The dogs are barking. I'm at the crib chilling. You know what time it is? Well, not at my crib, but I'm somewhere helping out with some puppies, dog sitting, because I always got to look out for the dogs. What's going on, y'all?
Hey, we got Bills up 16. Like I said in the podcast, bump them to 13.5.
Because we're the best and we don't have nefarious information. Got my main man Dan Cameron on the building, making it happen on VSX this morning. You guys got to tune in early to hear what Dan is doing. Look at Buffalo killing Carolina. You got, and I didn't talk about any of the early morning games because they were all bullshit. Looks like the Giants are hanging inside of that spread, like I mentioned. That was my dog of the day. But we are. I'm here chilling, man. Just trying to, keep the day rolling, trying to keep the day, occupied, hustling, and a lot of it comes back to what I was telling you before, that I was listening here on the radio in Las Vegas, and I didn't hear a lot of sports betting radio. I didn't hear a lot of people engaging, which tells me that these people are afraid, which lets me know that you ain't real no way. If you a real G like I am in the game, and you ain't doing nothing out of pocket, you come on with your show. That's why I came back on today, because people was like, oh, bet you JB was in that shit. And I was like, nope, nothing close. I'm going to be on the other side of the law when I get my shit, because at the end of the day, all this crime is going on is useless crime. And it's not crime that will put money in your pocket. You just go to jail, you get indicted, and they take all your shit, because that's the way the new market is when it comes to criminal activities, and if you will, like that. So that's how that shit goes. And I think that the NFL would do well to put itself in position to start looking at maybe trying to take away some of these opportunities on prop bets, because prop bets are the easiest bet. And I'm sorry, I'm walking around on your camera. You see, I got a lot going on. But prop bets are some of the easiest bets to basically fudge, because you got a situation where the player is in charge of the outcome directly. Mm-hmm. Now, we understand that the idea behind prop bets is if your guy has a good game, you should get rewarded for it if you bet it. And that background comes from prop betting. And it comes from, excuse me, I'm repeating myself.
The fantasy sports?
Yes, fantasy sports. Thank you for the clarity. And we all know who has dominated over the last year and a half the sports world in relationship to betting. It's been DraftKings and FanDuel. And the majority of their business from its inception as a sports betting business was fantasy sports. So they allowed themselves, to take the fantasy sports betting model, if you will, and turn it into a cash cow for the casinos. And then when the players themselves found out that people were betting on their performance, if you will, that put them at a disadvantage, because those individuals felt like, well, everybody is making money off of this sports betting shit but us, and we're the athletes, and now it's legal, and now everybody is going to get rich off of us. Why don't we just call our cousin and tell him, yo, coach going to bench me tonight. Bet the Blazers the other way, or bet them heavy. It was only the logical progression of what would happen with prop betting when you have nothing but team bets. and team prop bets, it does create a certain level of security for the bettor, because overall the outcome is gauged on what the team is trying to produce, not just an individual. So
Yeah.
if you look at the actual case, and I wanted to say this on the show this morning, but it slipped my mind. The actual case isn't so much about prop betting. I mean, it isn't so much about the betting itself. It's the style of betting. Prop betting, as it has been created and as it's been implemented, was a ripe farm for nefarious activity. And that's something that any person, and I know most of these leagues have a league office. I know most of these leagues have a general counsel. And if you are a general counsel involved with these leagues, and the guys from DraftKings and FanDuel came over to you and said, hey, dog, we want you to partner with our sports book now that sports betting is legal. Just on the record, if it would have been me, I would have laughed at them like, you guys are like, are you serious? Like, should I call the FBI now or wait for y'all to fuck up? That's what you know what I mean? Like, you can't be serious. But that is a conversation reasonably inferred to have happened, because there's nobody in their right mind. And I'm telling you this from experience. When I first started doing this show, I had a friend of mine, a lot of lawyers I work with, say, JB, love your voice, love your sports show idea, but just because the bulk of it is gambling, I don't want to get involved. And there was nothing illegal about that, and there was nothing nefarious about what I was doing, but just the stigma of gambling is what has caused a lot of these individuals to get caught up or not to get involved. So when you have that type of what we call public perception in law, public policy, where the average company isn't going to take up that offer due to the historical nature and the high probability, it's called criminal recklessness. Okay, when the law-abiding person, the reasonable standard of the law-abiding person, which I just gave you, my attorneys being law-abiding, if they won't engage in it, then under the law, you shouldn't engage in it because it's unreasonable. And if you do happen to engage in it, you're liable, if you're proven beyond a reasonable doubt, going to be criminally liable for your actions. It's a very simple concept behind the way the law works. And this NBA, the sports books, as they exist today, is not going to be a going concern. There's going to be very little, if at all, betting and or engagement now from the leagues with betting. You're going to see a lot more PSAs. One thing I haven't seen from the leagues, out of all, and this again, it doesn't bode well for them in court. You haven't put out any disclaimers, no commercials. You've been watching football all morning. How many commercials have you seen about problem gambling?
Right, not many. Or they just put the little fine print at the bottom.
How many commercials have you seen? No, actual fan.
No.
And get none. And that right there, my friend, is what's called the mitigating factor. Did you do anything if I was the prosecutor and asked them in court, did you do anything once you became aware of the criminal possibility of criminal impropriety of which you've been charged to stop it or to disengage? And when I ask that specific question the way I ask it, and they look at me and they say, and they look at their lawyer and say, I don't have enough information to admit or deny the charge, so I'm going to deny it. And then I say no further questions, and then go to the judge and be like, Judge, consider Exhibit B. Well, we have correspondence between the sports books and the general manager of this sports team indicating the anomalous betting. No further questions, Your Honor.
Yeah.
And then you're fucked.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get paid, and you're going to jail. That's the way it works.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Again, I said it on the show and I'll say it again. I don't know who was in that meeting, but I know that it's a reasonable inference that they had to have a lawyer at that meeting. Somebody, a law clerk, somebody that had at least a tertiary knowledge of the law and the possible illegality and the risk. Where there's a risk, a reasonably known risk, and you engage in that anyway, it's called assuming the risk, and you're held liable for any harm. That's under tort law. So they're not finished either. Just criminal investigation is going to provide evidence for sports bettors to sue the casinos because they're culpable. And now you were aware in tort law. If we don't want to talk criminal, I do torts too. In tort law, when you're aware of a risk and proceed anyway, it's called the assumption of the risk. And any consequences that comes from you assuming that risk are yours and yours alone to bear. That's the law.
Yeah.
Okay. So you cannot look at this thing and say, oh, it's just the NBA, it's going to blow over. No, it's not just the NBA. It's every single sports book and casino in the world taking advantage of this. Because the sports book, you got to remember, the sports book wins money if most bettors lose, right? We know this. Yeah. So if they get a group of people involved in a particular game or a particular specialty bet, and those individuals run afoul of the betting itself, okay? They run afoul of the casino rules themselves. I live here in Vegas. It's called house rules. If you have a situation where house rules says engaging in this type of activity while not illegal is prohibited at this casino, then house rules overstands the law. You hear what I said? House rules will overstand the law, meaning that it doesn't understand the law. It doesn't undercut the law, but it will overstand it, meaning that, well, we're not going to break the law, and what you're asking for technically isn't breaking the law, but we ain't fucking with it. Now, that's all the sports books had to do. Because I gave an analogy a couple of hours ago to a friend of mine. Legal marijuana has been legalized in several states. Can you go to Walgreens or CVS and buy weed? Yes or no?
No.
It's a medicine, though. It's legal in your jurisdiction. It can be prescribed by a doctor by prescription.
Yeah.
Do you go to CVS and Walgreens to buy weed?
No.
To buy your legal weed? No. Then why are we going to the sports? Why are we going to the sports leagues and getting offered sports betting? Again, it's legal.
Right.
There may be nothing wrong with it, but the optics of it and the high risk capability of that action deterred the drugstores, which they have in their name, drugstore. We sell drugs. They don't sell the medical marijuana. So why, in their mind, who in their right mind in these sports leagues, especially the NBA, would have thought it to be a good idea to sell betting?
Right.
I just gave you the perfect analogy where you have a legal activity, a legal, the word a and then legal separately, not illegal, where you have a legal activity that if you engage in that activity, you're not breaking the law, but you're putting yourself at a high risk of probability to either run afoul of a law you're not aware of, and not being aware of the law doesn't mean you're not adjudicated by it, or you put yourself in a tort liability situation where even though you didn't break the law, you harm somebody with your actions, and that action is actionable in court under tort theory. The league is embarrassing itself right now. Do you know Adam Silver is a lawyer? Did you know that?
Yeah, I did. But pretty much all those.
He don't want to see me in these shades in court. He don't want to see this. He don't want to see the Foster Grants, homie. He don't want to see that. Because if you're a lawyer that will sit there and let your client walk to the guillotine and then be like, oh, well, I mean, you know, we're going to work it out. You are an attorney as a commissioner of the league. And when you're an attorney and you're in a high level position, there's a certain level of intelligence that you are expected to have in regards to protecting that business, especially protecting it under the law. That's why they fucking hired your ass. You're a lawyer. That's why companies are going to hire me. They're going to be like, you know what? This motherfucker JB, he know the law well enough to not only keep us out of some shit, but to make sure we get into the good shit. You know what the league should have done when the sports books came to them? Close the door. Period.
Yeah.
They set themselves up for this destruction. They should have closed the door to FanDuel, DraftKings, MGM. That's right, dogs. That's right. Dogs are barking. That's right. The dogs are saying, preach, Papa, preach, Papa. Because the reality is simple. That's like me saying, all right, weed is legal now. I'm going to go sell it.
Yeah.
Now, it may be a gray area. You might get away with it for a while. But once somebody finds out that some high school kids or some middle school kids got hold of the weed you sold to an adult and they smoked it and got sick, guess who's going to jail?
Yeah, you are.
Exactly. So Adam Silver will have to divest of himself. If the owners are smart, this is how you mitigate. See, if I was advising, if you guys watching this podcast right now, JB the Ticket, Purdue class of 2027, Purdue Law, you know what it is. We pushing P, baby. Ow. I would advise them like this if I was so be in that position. Every single owner in the league, we're going to call a meeting. And we fire Adam Silver today. Today.
Yeah.
Today. That way, when the courts call me and say, hey, man, what y'all doing? Hey, shit, we could give you the quick update, blood. We fired homie. Homie was unreasonable and homie didn't have the capacity to perform in the duties of which we show him. And because of him, we're in this situation. I would put the whole shit on Adam and keep my league alive. And then I would get a female commissioner to run the NBA. I would save your league in 2 days. I would save the image of your league, which your league is all about image anyway. Your league would be saved. We fire Adam Silver and bring in a woman. And then for the WNBA, we fire that commission. We bring in 2 specific projects to make it happen. We bring in people who have no ability to run a league, like Adam Silver. He has been dealing with issues about the NBA, whether it comes from fan play, fans complaining about gameplay, and now the betting. Let's talk about the gameplay real quick, right? Remember load management?
Yeah.
That's called plausible deniability. They do have a defense. It's a weak one, but it's plausible deniability. We didn't know, but I would put it and say, well, this is the part of the conspiracy. Load management, holding out players who are completely healthy from playing. Now that seems suspicious as fuck. Now, holding out players for load management. Load management is a financial term. We use that on Wall Street when we're talking about your mutual funds. No load and full load, mid load. All that means is fees, how much money we gonna make. So when I get a client, when I used to be a Wall Streeter, and I had somebody come in and say, JB, I want to put together a mutual fund with no load. That means you don't want a mutual fund with fees. But what we sold was called load managed funds. The exact term. Load managed funds, where we would take you and put you in a high fee, high return. We put you in a low fee, low return, and then we put you in a tweener. And the tweener was supposed to give you that extra return on your money. Okay? Yeah. The NBA, being that it's an investor league now, and they're all about the money, can't mess up the money, use the same exact term in a financial statement. So if I was, in regards to how they manage their players, so again, if me being a prosecutor, I would say, who found it beneficial to use the nomenclature load management, which is a financial term, for player participation in games? Explain. That's the type of prosecutor I am. I'm going to ask you questions that complete the element of the law I'm trying to prove and fuck your ass on that you can't answer, because I asked it in a way where you're going to have to ask somebody intelligent. And we know the man or woman on the stand is stupid. I'm going to say who chose that term, and then I'm going to explain that term to the court. Load management is a financial term. So let's say this. If a sports book bettor, these mafia guys or whoever they got, says, hey, man, we got to manage the load on this game, dog. We got $500,000 riding on this game. You got to tell Terry Rozier his ass got to go by the second quarter. We got to manage the load. We can't have him go out there and fuck up this prop bet by him making an extra layup. You see?
Yeah, why didn't they call it like health management or something?
Nope. They called it what it was.
I'm just saying, why didn't they?
They called it what it was. They slick people. So you got to understand something about the criminal mind, son.
Yeah.
A criminal makes a calculated decision on if the punishment is justifiable for the crime. If you steal $100 million and you hide 75 of it and get caught with 25 million and go to jail for 3, get sentenced to 5, go to jail for 3, just like them Wolf of Wall Street white boys and shit, and you come out to 100 and you come out to that other 75 million that they couldn't find, and you come out on parole and are no longer under jurisdiction of the government. Shit. You know how many people I know that would take that? 3 years for 75 million? When do we go do this? When? And that's how you have a lot of these guys in the NBA, I can tell in the front office, think that way. How are they? We're so smart, we're going to call it load management, and no one will ever be the wiser.
Yeah.
The whole league is fucked. And load management, mind you, was there any load management prior to the legalization, excuse me, of sports betting? No. No such thing as load management. If you were a player who missed fucking practice, Allen Iverson, they were in your ass. They was in your ass. You missed practice. They looking at you like that. That's right. Dogs are barking. Papa, no, they go to doggies. Little doggies. But the reality is simple. This shit didn't start happening with the load management and all of this until betting came involved. Now, to a seasoned investigator, soon to be litigator, it's written all over it's written all over the wall. You ever hear the story, the writing on the wall?
Yeah.
It was clear to me. And again, JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express, stopped covering the NBA because of it. I was not comfortable telling sports bettors, hey, I've handicapped your game with mathematics and public information, and I want you to make this bet. And then I come find out all 5 starters are pulled out and they starting some scrubs that they picked up from the G League. What?
Right.
Picking up guys out of the fucking Walmart parking lot, talking about, you want to run point guard tonight? What? Picking up guys off the G League to start. That is so nefarious and shady. And you said it on my show. Hey, why is it that all of these basketball players, there's 5 people out there, no helmets, you can talk, you can do whatever you got to do. There's 5 people out there.
Call your own plays.
It's super easy to cheat because there's 5 people out there. And that's the reality. Football.
And they call their own plays.
Right. Call your own plays. You can call timeout. Any player on the floor can call timeout. That's the only sport. In the NFL, a player can't call timeout, only the coach. Did you know that?
Players can call timeout in the NFL.
No, they can't.
Yeah, they do.
It is the NFL rule because I've read the NFL rules to be abreast of the NFL.
They call timeout like when they have a big first down, 3 seconds left. You'll see them. They'll call timeout, but it's
right.
It's still.
Let me say this:
it's not the same advantage as a timeout in basketball.
No, I want to explain to you what you think you're seeing, because I remember I told you I had to read the rule book. I was going to become an NFL agent before I graduated. If the player calls timeout, they have to point to their sideline to get a congruence with their coach. No NFL player can call time unless the sideline approves it. I've seen it happen where guys will go to the line and try to call an audible, don't get the audible and get a fucking delay of game because the coach was like, I'm not calling a timeout. Only the coach can throw a flag, the red flag. So like you said, and you were correct, and that's why I love the NFL. They're on top of this shit. Now, not to say the NFL may not have some of this nefarious shit going on, but I'm sure if they do, those players will be banned and never come back. Baseball had a lifetime ban and a post-mortem ban on Pete Rose. Pete Rose dead, and they were like, we still ain't putting him in there for that shit he pulled. So when you have that measure of integrity for your league and you act in that way, it tends to bode well for you in court because you can show that you had no intention of engaging in that activity. And in my opinion, based on the way it's been reporting and based on the way I've been covering sports betting for the last 10 years and watching the numbers of every game and every player and noticing these anomalies, I feel that the NBA has put themselves in a position now where they don't have the ability to defend their actions. And that's sad.
Yeah.
That's sad. How can you not defend your actions? How can you put yourself in a position where fans are now questioning the integrity of the game? And then here's the gall. Here's the gall. The gall. The nut hugger. You still taking bets on your games. Should have suspended all betting in the NBA yesterday. They're going down, bro. And if they don't go down, God bless them. But I ain't fucking with them.
Yeah.
No, sir. Basketball is dead in the hood anyway. Ain't nobody at the park. So what we got going on this football, man?
Yeah, just got some good games. We got we're on a live bet for the Bears to come back and win this game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually out to check the score because I don't. Oh no, I do have it on, but it's not showing the score right now. You know, I don't like NFL games. They used to always have the score. Okay, so it's
Hold
still
on, you're starting to break up on your. Hold on, you were starting to break up. I had to get rid of that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so they're driving.
No, something about you don't like the NFL betting.
What's that?
You were saying something about you don't like the NFL betting scenario. Go ahead.
No. I was gonna say that the NFL used to always have the score, like even like on the screen. It seems like half the time they don't even have the score up there anymore.
You know why? Totals better.
I'll be watching the game. And I'll have to check the score on my phone.
Is covering their ass in court. The NFL covering their ass in court. They won't even give you, like you said, they won't even give you a scoreboard to keep track because the NFL is run by lawyers. Roger Goodell, I think he's an attorney too. Let me double check that before I say it on the record.
Buffalo with another huge touchdown here.
I knew Buffalo was going to blow those boys out.
Yeah.
I didn't take any bets on it. I'm gonna bet these afternoon games.
Yeah, I don't know why Ronnie B thought that the Panthers would get in that spread, but it's got to be 26-3, and that's with them missing an extra point. It could be 27-3, but.
Well, I tell people this all the time, man. The reality is simple. Simple as dimples, man. The NFL covers their ass when it comes to this betting. Remember Jimmy the Greek? Yeah. Jimmy the Greek back in the 80s, he said some shit about black quarterbacks, and they took him off the air immediately. And he used to give out picks. Jimmy the Greek was the first guy to give out picks.
Back in the Warren Moon era.
Yes. Then. And you have to realize that when you have guys who are used to doing things a certain way, and then you tell them, hey, man, we got to change the way we're doing things. We got to make this. We got to make more money. We got to put more money on the wood. We got to get more books. We got to get more money. I can still hear you while I'm going off camera. But the NBA, man, like I said, when I started this show back in 2016, I reached out to all the leagues and I said, look, when I first started, before betting was legal, I said, look, I do a show. Take a listen to it. Let me know if you can, hook me up with some sponsorship or something like that. Soon as they saw it was betting, they was like, nah, we like you, but it's betting. Betting became legal. The only league I heard back from on an old email was the NFL. Hallelujah. It was the NFL. The NFL, I have been to NFL events here in Vegas. I covered the draft for the NFL when they were here in Vegas. I love the NFL. The NFL has given me opportunities with this podcast and this radio show, which I never would have thought possible. I never would have thought I'd been on an NFL red carpet going to an event sponsored by the league and a team of the league, okay?
Yeah.
But when I attended, I had specific restrictions placed upon me. No betting talk at all. If you want to talk sports, JB, we know that you know the teams. We know you know what you know. Talk about what you know. Talk about your business ideas. Talk about, what you think the league and teams can do to improve. But whatever you do, when you set foot in this event and we got people watching, do not talk about betting. Don't do it. I was literally told that by the NFL director of community operations here in Las Vegas. When you come to our events, you do not come as a betting man. You come as a sports radio host. And I was told to never, because by the way, KSHP is the flagship station for the LA Rams. We were told never in season bring on a former player or a current player on your show. I was told that by the NFL. Now, I was never told anything by the NBA because they never got back to me. Boo, whatever. Basketball always hated on me. Even when I played ball, it was all politics and not wanting to pick me because I was too deep in from the hood and all that. But better than all them prep school kids that you see now stinking up the league. And they told you rich kids is the first ones to go after money and do nefarious stuff because they had no boundaries growing up anyway. Okay. Right. So I respect the NFL for their position when sports betting came legal, because the NFL, even though the NFL has partnered with the sports books, they have made it very clear to all of us sports hosts. We catch y'all motherfuckers running game, we calling the FBI on you. Just you.
Yeah.
And when I told them years later, when I told them that I was in law school, I got bigger perks with the NFL because they were like, JB's never broken our rule, and now he know the law. Bring him to the event. I go to the event, ain't no other radio host, ain't no other TV host there but me. But me.
Yeah.
So what does that tell me about the other hosts in this game? Running flim flam. Running flim flam. And you know what that means, running bad paperwork. You cannot expect people who are around money in a capitalist society not to take advantage of gray areas where they think that they can get over. You just can't expect that not to happen. And what the NBA has allowed to happen is so nefarious and bad, because even its the player recently banned for life, Jonte Porter, went on a podcast and broke it down. He was like, yo, if my cousin needs some money and I know I can run a player prop that night, I'm going to call my cousin, tell him, put your rent money on my under tonight. I'm only going to play 29 minutes. I'm going to play 28 minutes and I'm coming out the game.
Yeah.
He sat there and told you, why can't my family get a bag? Why can't I put them up on game?
Yeah.
So the cat's out of the bag with the NBA. If that's the mentality of NBA players, and especially the mentality of the NBA player who got caught, no mea culpa, no, I'm sorry, no, I don't feel I did anything wrong. They told him, you can't play ball no more. He was like, fuck it, I don't care.
Yeah.
This problem with the NBA. Also, people want to know, why would a multi-millionaire do stuff on the side like this, which is a criminal element, to make extra money? This is what's called hood money, baby mama money. A millionaire with child support. Oh, I got an easy way to take care of my baby mama's child support this month. I'll just get this pick from Fat Sal and I'll give it to the homie, and he'll make the pick, and then he'll give me the money, and then I'll give it to my baby mama. I ain't got to give her no money from my salary.
Yeah, right.
That's the mentality that these guys, that's why they do it. They do it as a loss leader. They don't want to, you'd be surprised how many multimillionaires don't want to spend $2.
Oh, yeah.
And if they can spend money to somebody else's money, someone else's money, they'll do it all day.
Yeah, well, like you say, like, their cousin or baby mom or whatever wants them to pay their rent. They're like, I'm not gonna pay your rent, but I'll tell you what, I ain't scoring more than 12 points today.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Scoring more than 12
I ain't
points.
giving you any money, but you can go ahead and bet on me,
You feel me?
Yeah.
It's ghetto stupidity is what got these boys in trouble. They thought they were safe. Mind you, people are thinking about it wrong. These kids don't think they were making money. They thought they were saving money. Let me give you the proper perspective on why an NBA player would engage in this type of activity. Not to make money. Oh, no. It was to save money. It was so people who wanted their money, cousins, uncles, grandmamas, mama, father, brother, whoever, baby
Right.
mama, baby daddy, the 3 baby mamas they got. I got a way to pay this bitch where I don't have to have it come out of my check. And mind you, these aren't small child support payments. They running 5 figures and up.
Yeah.
So if Fat Tony gives you that pick and you say, man, I'll just give this pick to fucking Tanisha and she can make the bet and she get the money she wants.
Yeah.
That's the concept behind what they're doing. They're not doing it to make money. They think they're saving money. More stupidity. Go ahead.
Yeah. And I saw a good take. I wish I could remember how I worded it, but he was talking about how these players are predisposed to make, to gamble and stuff like Jordan, like you were saying.
Oh, that's bullshit. The player
because they're
said to do that was Kenny Smith talking about due to the competitive nature.
They're super competitive, right? They have this competitive streak in them, and it makes like gambling can be very competitive and wanting to win, and so it
I
just
call bullshit
into their ego and their competitiveness.
I call bullshit on that. I told you why they do it. That's the media's way of trying to soften the blow. No, that's not why they do it. These guys take that money and give it to their baby mama, their mama, their cousin, just like Jonte Porter. I listened to what Jonte Porter said. Fuck what Kenny Smith said. Kenny Smith, even Charles Barkley was looking at him like he was retarded. And yes, I still use those old words. No disrespect to anybody out there who may be mentally challenged. I'm just from New York, and this is how we talk.
Oh.
But the reality is simple.
It's not them that get offended by the word retard.
These boys are trying to make easy money.
It's their parents that get offended by it.
I understand. And I don't want to do that. And I don't want to offend them.
They're not smart enough to know words.
I know, right?
Get offended by it.
Especially in this new society, they should be offended by calling themselves they and them. Because if they understood spirituality, that means that you're possessed by demons. Yeah. If you read all the holy books, when the person was possessed, they said, we come as a legion. We come. We, them, they. And it'd be one guy standing there. So anybody that tells you we come in peace and they're by themselves, run, because they're possessed by the devil. I'm offended by that. I'm offended by people who are possessed by demons coming to me, telling me to call them their hellish nature. Now, let's move forward.
Yeah. I'm with you on that one. That shit's ridiculous.
This is the quietest day that I've ever heard in sports betting. I put my show out. Ain't nobody biting my stuff like they normally do. It's the quietest day ever in sports betting. People are terrified to even talk about a spread, a point total. They terrified.
Well, and that's the thing. It's bad for the sports books too, because if people think there's cheating, they think they can't win, then people are going to stop betting,
Yes, and this is where I'm glad you brought up the sports books. Let's go back to the other culpable party here. The sports books allowed it.
Right.
You can't get $1 million indictment, $1 billion indictment, unless somehow, some way, that activity was taking place over the course of time. Now, the government might have went to them and said, oh, let this go through so we can build a case. But you can beat that in defense. You can beat that into defense. But the concept behind it is this. The sports books went to the leagues and said, we want to work with you.
Yeah.
That was the first mafia introduction right there to the league. The mafia introduced themselves right at the front door of the league. Hey, dog, we want to run this ad since the sports betting is legal. And what happens? The NFL wasn't free of this either. They had Calvin Ridley. They had other players who were engaged in betting activity. Again, the reason that players engage in the betting activity is because they need to take care of family members and they don't want to waste money. And they think they're saving money or they think they're getting over. And it's a way for them to keep their money from playing, because the idea behind pro athletes over the last 50 years is that they all end up broke anyway, right? And they all end up broke from monthly payments and child support payments. So they said, yo, we got a way to pay child support. It don't hurt nobody. And they're stupid anyway, and they don't know the law. And they're saying, oh, it ain't even illegal. Sports betting legal. And my cousin did it. I didn't do it. not realizing that co-conspiracy is a part of criminal law. That's why they should hire people like JB the Ticket, because I can give you the street level knowledge of what's going to happen to you in the court for adjudication level knowledge. And that's why I was telling your boy, you need to let your boy watch this tape so he knows what I'll bring to the table for him if they so do give me the call back. Because the realization is this is a new era and a new area of income for lawyers.
Yeah.
As the NCAA just opened up sports betting for its own athletes.
Yeah.
That creates culpability.
Mm-hmm.
You should be restricting this activity. If you participate in our sport, in our league, or in our organization, betting comes nowhere. It comes nowhere near you. Your family, nigga, I gave you $100 million. Kick that bitch her 25,000 and shut up. Kick her that 20 grand and shut up. No, the leagues are complicit and culpable. The leagues brought this on themselves. I don't feel sorry for them. I don't say, oh, you're killing the integrity of the sport. The league did that themselves.
Yeah.
Again, does Walgreens and CVS sell medical marijuana? Answer that question.
No,
it's
they
legal.
don't. Yeah.
It's legal. Thank you. They weren't stupid.
Yeah.
You got to go to the dispensary to get medical marijuana. Just like you should have to just only go to the sports book to make a bet. Now you can download the app and get ads to tell you to go bet. Stupid. Does CVS put out advertisements? Medical marijuana is so much better than prescription drugs. If you don't want to use the prescription drug that we prescribe, your doctor prescribed to pick up here at our station, in our store, go to your local dispensary. Do you ever hear that?
No.
The dumbest shit in the world. And they do that shit every day. They do that shit. And they do that shit on every sport, on every TV. They had celebrities. When I saw Jamie Foxx promoting BetMGM, I felt disrespected. I'm like, you could have got me. I'm authentically the guy. I got guys like Dan Cameron telling you, man, I have a podcast. I have JB come on there. He gonna drop some grease. This gonna teach you something about the game. You should you should listen. But these sports betting organizations became so greedy. And greed kills. Greed is one of the 7 deadly sins. That somehow, some way, somebody in the room, and I know there had to be at least one person in the room that said, Adam, I don't think this is a good idea. Shut up, Sylvia. Probably a woman. And she probably was disrespected. And now they're going to sit where they're going to sit in the congressional hearing. And Congress is not going to go easy on them, because if we want to talk politics, let's shift into politics. The NBA is incongruent with the current administration's plans for 19th century America. Right. They went full Black Lives Matter, black. We black. We ain't nothing but black. We always gonna be black. Fuck a MAGA. Fuck a white man. Fuck the police. We kneeling. We wearing shirts backwards with no name on it. All of that. Yeah. We're not visiting the White House. We're not gonna support any of your candidates. Well, guess what? We got a crazy ass administration in there right now that's looking for revenge and are playing the game this dirty too. Everybody been asking for them tapes. We don't know what happened to the tapes. And we're going to leave that where that's at. But I'm just saying, Kash Patel can say what he want to say to Stephen A. Smith. People in the know what time it is. Stephen was just saying what he knows to be true. Yeah. Only the players are going to be affected. Yeah. The team owners ain't going to jail. Right. The GM ain't going to jail. Adam Silver ain't going to jail. He may get a fine or something for being a negligent and, supposed to be in control of an organization and being negligent. He may get some criminal negligence, but that's just a fine. He ain't going to jail. You know who going to jail? Just like for the NBA healthcare scandal that just happened. Guess you forgot about that. The NBA is a mess. It's run by jackaloons. Glenn Big Baby Davis in prison. Shout out Big Baby. Yeah, you know I am.
I mean, back when Adam Silver kicked that the owner of the Clippers out, that's when I knew that guy was a buffoon.
Semantics.
I'm like, this dude was illegally taped, and he was talking to his girlfriend. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't the best speech You got to understand that guy was born in like the 20s. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? That's just how the guy thinks and talks. I mean, I'm not saying it was right, but I'm just
But look
saying
at
like
the irony.
to
But look
make
at
him
the
sell the
irony.
team for an illegal taping was bullshit. I knew that that dude was a fucking clown when he kicked him out of the league.
Right. But look at the irony. You
Yeah.
get rid of a racist owner or owner who doesn't have forward, social
Yeah.
construct in his mind. And you do that only to hire a tech billionaire who thinks he's above the law, who openly tax evades and pays one of his players, a black player, under the table for a fraudulent international charity, which
Well,
in
yeah,
my
yes.
world
And
breaks
that
so many
that was
more
worse
laws
than
than
that
calling somebody
phone
the
call.
N-word on a tape. Look at the irony of that. Look how stupid this guy is. You took the team away from an antebellum soldier and you gave it to a Ponzi schemer.
Yeah.
You literally gave it to somebody who said, I'm going to create a charity that takes money from people to plant trees. We never going to plant a tree a day in our life. And I'm going to give my player $30 million under the table to be the face card of this charity. And I'm going to collect this money tax-free because it's 50C3. In my world, that's called tax evasion, embezzlement, and international criminal commerce.
Yeah.
That's in my world. That's what we call that.
501c3, yeah.
That's called tax evasion.
Right.
I do this. And when I get my license, I'm going to talk bigger shit. But the reality is simple. That's tax. If I was to start a church right now, the Church of JB, and became the pastor and begin to tell people, for every one of y'all that donate, I'm going to pay off a kid's school lunch from these tithes and offerings. And then about 5 years later, I got a Bentley, a Benz, and a car, and I then bought into the soccer team, and kids are still hungry at the school. Guess what's going to happen to my black ass?
Right. Hey, JB, real quick.
Yeah.
James Cook is having a ridiculous day right now. Right now, he has 18 rushes, right?
Mm-hmm.
214 yards, 2 touchdowns, 11.9 average, 64 long. That's ridiculous. And we still have 5 minutes left in the third quarter. This dude could rush for 300 yards. Bills up 33-3, by the way. I gave you guys that grease. I told you bump it to minus 13.5. Yeah. You still there, JB? I don't know if you're on mute or what. I see your screen's black, but I should still be able to hear you, but I don't. We may have lost JB. And we have. That's all right. Some good insights from JB there. Yeah, the NBA is, one thing he didn't bring up though is one thing I think we need to get rid of in America is these arbitration courts, man. I think that they're really hurting people right now. So, but yeah, the NBA is they're ridiculous. But I think we are going to end this podcast. We do have, oh my goodness, I think the Bills got it again. Andy Dalton just fumbled again. Bills defense just got another turnover, JB.
You see how the internet and the shit been hating today, been hating all the studio? Because I'm going to speak the truth. The dogs is barking. I'm going to speak the truth. But like you were saying, the guy's having a 200-yard day or something like that. But, going back to this whole, because this is going to affect what we do. Now, let's talk about how this affects what we do. Now, granted, we're good handicappers. We have our shows. We're respected in our circles. We do what we do.
Oh, it's definitely.
But we've been trying to get a more national reach. I think that's fucked now.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because the sports betting public isn't going to respect The sports betting public isn't going to respect the quote unquote integrity, if you will, of the game. Sports have been under fire socially and politically go outside. Sports have been under fire politically and economically and socially for the last 4 or 5 years. And they put themselves in this position because of political stances. Sports was generally always politics free. Adam Silver, again, going back to him, should have never, and I repeat, should have never, and I'm a black man saying this with a straight face, should have never engaged in that Black Lives Matter shit, because not only did it turn out that Black Lives Matter was a scam in its own self, but the league, you ain't there for that.
Right.
You over here trying to hold a moral compass and you're corrupt through and through. Remember a couple of weeks ago when you had a couple months back, a year or so ago, when you had, like I said, that health insurance scam. I mean, as a commissioner, you talk about somebody who dropped the ball, who fell asleep at the wheel. Bro, he's not even home. The league is falling apart under his fucking tutelage and his jurisdiction. I mean, it's embarrassing that the NBA on opening night gets a federal indictment.
Right.
Now, that don't tell me, if I was a manager at Taco Bell and opened that motherfucker with no meat, I'm getting fired. If we open up, JB, it's our first night with the new Tacos Chalupa Supreme, and I fucked around and left the meat in the freezer, guess who's getting fired? Me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's the concept that I don't like about the way the NBA and the way a lot of these leagues, especially the NBA, what they did. I don't like how they're being run, because when the sports books got in bed with the league, I knew right then and there that what I did potentially might not hold. And just the fact that it didn't even last 10 years without something like this happening, it's all on him. In my world, in the business world, if you go business law, bro, it's called agency. Adam Silver put y'all in this position.
Yeah.
Because if he would have had a zero tolerance policy for betting, you wouldn't even have seen no FBI. When the last time the mafia and the FBI been on TV and said in the same sentence? What, 89?
Yeah.
Since the commission trial? So the fact that you are so asleep at the wheel that you have brought back old demons and old shit from the grave. Get him out of there. There's this guy on Instagram, Will Mills. He'd be like, pack him up. Yo, pack him up. Pack him up. I said this on D Hoopster's podcast. Back him up.
Yeah.
And D Hoopster didn't want to put the podcast out. Yo, and I respect him. He ain't no sucker. I mean, he in the media business, so I understand his position on trying to, remain neutral. But I told him, I don't have that. I'm independent. I spend my own money to talk my shit. So the reality is simple. I said it on his show. This is the worst commissioner I've ever seen in sports, and I go all the way back to Paul Giamatti with the major leagues. I go back to Paul Tagliabue with the NFL. I go back deep to this game. Pete Rozelle. Yeah. This is the worst commissioner I've ever seen in the history of sports. Every other commissioner prior to him has helped leagues merge, have created or acquiesced to free agency, the media deals. He's out here telling people, oh, if you can't watch it on TV, just watch the highlights on YouTube. You be all right. What kind of shit is that?
Yeah.
Upload you got to, that lets me know right then and there you don't care.
Yeah.
Either you don't care, you too stupid with the plan you got to make money. He all about making money.
Yeah.
And when you all about making money and the fans have been telling you that the 3-pointers are fucked up and there ain't no defense and you don't care, and you come out the next year and say, hey, watch all the games on NBC Plus or some dumb shit, everybody already looking at you like you retarded. Excuse my French. I said it again. Hey, pup, get out of here.
And they lost the TNT crew. You know what I mean? That was the NBA's big thing, was the TNT crew. And now they're gone. You know what I mean?
Right. The
The
TNT
NBA
crew is
should have stepped
gone.
in and paid their contract for TNT, you know? Hey,
Yeah, just
TNT, if you're
stupid
not gonna
stuff.
pay them,
Stuff that
we'll
the
pay them
fans
to
want.
stay with you on
Anything
TNT.
anything fan oriented. This commissioner and Adam Silver,
Yeah.
he throws it in the trash. Oh, the fans
I
want
would have
that?
been
Throw
like,
that
wait a
away.
minute. TNT doesn't want to give you a raise. I will pay for your raise, but you stay on TNT. You know what I mean?
Nah, he ain't
'Cause-
bright like that. He ain't
Because
bright like that.
they have to. I mean, what do they have now? They don't have any personalities. I mean, I know that they went to ESPN or something, but it's not going to be like that TNT show. So they don't
But
have any.
here's the problem.
They don't
Here's
have
the
any
problem with going.
personality. It's like if the NFL tomorrow was like, you know what? They don't want to do Monday Night Football again, so we're just gonna let that go. No, you're gonna step in and save Monday Night Football.
Exactly.
Right?
You got to save
You're
that.
not
But
gonna. You're gonna step in and save TNT. Look, we'll pay their salaries. What do they want? They want $100 million a year each. We'll pay them each $100 million, whatever it takes. We have to keep this TNT show going. You know what I
you
mean?
know why?
But instead,
ESPN,
what do? They just let it go away.
but
And
they
then
let
now
it
they
go
have the
away.
gambling thing, and now they have everything else. And I mean, the NBA's ratings have been going down since that became a 3-point contest and a no touch league. You know what I
Right.
mean? There's no hand checking. You can't touch them. You can't bump them. You can't do anything.
You can't even dunk on somebody
Anything
without getting a
is
technical
half
foul
court,
now. You
you
can't
know?
even dunk on a nigga without getting a technical
It
foul.
might as well be the WNBA because none of them dunk anymore. They just shoot half court shots.
Because if you
You know what I
dunk
mean?
on somebody,
You took all the dunks out of the game. You took all the alley oops out of the game. All the fun stuff.
because
You know
he
what I
wanted to
mean?
make it more European to get money. That's Euroball
Yeah.
them boys is playing. That's why the Euro
Right, but
stars
it's
should never
backfired
hang.
because they're not getting more money. It worked
Here
for a
was-
little while, but now it's backfired because everybody wants to see the alley oops and the hand checking and the defense, and we want to see that. People realized, you know what? Yeah, it was fun for a little while. This fast paced, run to half, shoot a three, run to half, shoot a three. Yeah, I mean that was fun for a little while, but now we're like, you know what? This sucks. There's no alley oop dunks. There's no this. There's no that. You know what I mean?
Because
There's
the
no
league-
pick and rolls. There's no nothing. It's just run to
Go
half,
watch-
shoot a three.
Go watch
run
some
to the window,
EuroLeague basketball. Yeah, go watch EuroLeague
Boring as
basketball. Adam
Completely.
Silver only cares about the bottom dollar. That's
Yeah.
why I'll say this. Back in the day, European boys, 1 out of 10 that came over here could compete
Oh,
because
yeah,
the
and then
difference.
they took traveling out of the game, and then they allowed the Euro step and all the other shit. It's like
Right. Because and because of that, the Europeans are now dominating the NBA. Do you know why the Europeans formerly didn't dominate the NBA? They would have 1 or 2 anomalies who could play.
Yeah.
Andre Kirilenko, Tony Kukoc, the boy Dirk Nowitzki. It was always 1 out of 10. 10% of
Yeah.
them could come over here. Now it's 60% because the NBA back in the day, what separated our players who were high level, fundamentally skilled players as well. What separated the NBA from the rest of the world and what made it the best league was the athleticism in addition to the fundamental mastery of basketball. So
Yeah.
if you have a Michael Jordan who can play defense and know how to post up, but then takes off from the free throw line, now we got something that we can't compete against with. Because when we saw that with the Dream Team, 92, every single one of those players that was on those foreign teams were professional players. And when we brought our professional players, we saw it was no contest. And the reason why it was no contest, proving my point, is not even a theory, this is fact, is when we brought our American players over with the former American style of basketball in 92 and 96, we destroyed Euroball. It wasn't until 4 years later in 2000 when Adam Silver began to take over for an ailing David Stern that we began to see American basketball at the pro level begin to falter overseas and in these Euro tournaments and in the Olympics. And the reason being is because the Olympic committees of these foreign nations began to get more exposure to American style basketball, and the players in Europe no longer worship guys like, Pregoni, who was an Italian legend. They looked at Jordan. They were looking at Malone. They were looking at Shaq. So you had players that tried to emulate the style as best that they could. But when they came over from Europe, they typically weren't successful. A guy like Tony Parker, he's an anomaly as well. Now you look at the top players in the league, and they're all Euro guys, and they're all foreigners, because over the last specific 10 to 15 years that Adam Silver has been at the helm, he de-Americanized basketball. Let me say that again. He de-Americanized basketball. He turned American basketball into a European construct on the court, which means that you have evened the playing field from American players being dominant to European players being even or at best dominant.
Yeah.
So instead of Ralph Sampson, who we had at Virginia 30, 40 years ago, you've got Wembanyama from France.
Mm-hmm.
Same guy, same player. Ralph Sampson was doing the same stuff 30, 40 years ago. You guys, that's why I'm not excited about Wemby. I've seen that already. His name is Ralph Sampson. He was called the Skyscraper. His name is Ralph Sampson. Look him up. The Skyscraper. Yeah, he's a problem. Yeah. I've seen this already. You got a guy like Bol. For whatever reason, they don't want to put him in the league. But he do the same shit. The same shit. So the NBA, it was said by a player on a podcast I saw on Instagram, a clip, that the NBA is no longer the best league in the world because the best players aren't playing in the game. It's the most popular or the most Euro or the person who is at best the most congruent with whatever political stance that the NBA has right now. There's no reason Cooper Flagg should have been number one. The hell? Yeah. The hell?
And
how he went number one? How did Cooper Flagg go number one? The boy had 10 points and Wemby abused him.
Yeah.
You got BJ Edgecombe killing everybody. You got the boy from New York for the Utah Jazz killing everybody. How is Cooper Flagg number one?
Right.
Because Christian Laettner sure as hell wasn't number one. Yeah, y'all forgot that shit. Y'all forgot that shit. Christian Laettner wasn't number one. Christian Laettner had a better pedigree. He put Cooper Flagg lower him than the half staff, comparing him to Christian Laettner, the greatest Duke player of all time. That motherfucker went in the second round. He went in the second round.
Yeah.
Why is Cooper Flagg the number one player? Because Adam Silver's a jackass trying to appeal to the MAGA crowd. Let me pick a white guy number one. Maybe the white people will start watching again because I need all the money. He's an idiot. And I say that because I have no interest in working with these people, but he's an idiot. I've never seen anyone except for idiots allow their employees to get involved in criminal activity. I worked on Wall Street. I seen a lot of banks and a lot of funds go down because the manager was off on his yacht.
Yeah.
Fucking models while his loan officers and his brokers was in the office cutting and pasting and putting out fraudulent documents. Yeah. I know all about this. That man's been asleep at the wheel for 15 years. Told the WNBA, which is a wholly owned subsidiary, we'll pay you if we get a couple extra dollars. We got some money coming in. Trust me. He knew what he was talking about. So at the end of the day, man, I mean, I never really covered anything outside of sports and sports betting because I didn't like politics. I didn't want to blend in the law, but they've encroached in my world. They brought that bullshit to me. This is what I'm gonna talk about now, and I'm gonna clown the shit out of them every day because I ain't got nothing to lose. I mean, for what? I mean, these guys are still taking bets in the NBA. How greedy and stupid are you? That's like if P. Diddy would have still been trying to get bitches to come see him at MDC. Yeah. Stupid. I've never seen anything. I've literally never seen anything like this. Bro, baseball banned Pete Rose for life and post-mortem. Are you shitting me? That's how you effectively say, look, it's legal and we might be playing with it, but we ain't going to play with fire. We playing with the firewood. Now, if it spontaneously combusts, we'll be able to put it out. But The NBA's had the gasoline, the matches, smoking cigarettes and blunts. Oh shit, it's on fire. Oh shit, it's out of control. Ah!
All right, JB, I'm gonna wrap this up.
Yeah, my man. It was good spending time with you. I
Yeah.
appreciate you coming on each and every week, showing love to VSX, being my best contributor,
hey,
man.
Thank you for coming on today. Some good information for sure. So
I hope a lot of people were listening and watching.
Yeah, definitely. And I'll clip this and
spread it out. Clip it up and put it out. I'll co-sign it on Instagram because I stand behind everything I say 100%. If I don't believe it, I won't say it. Some of it I was saying was clearly legal speculation. That's what we do. We speculate. But the reality is it starts at the top. And the commissioner and his quest, because mind you, he comes to Vegas. I've been around this fool.
Yeah.
I see how he act. He think he the king.
Yeah.
He thought, I mean, bro, he is a fool on a fool's errand.
Now since day one.
And the only way that the NBA as an entity can save face, I'm going to get NBA if you're listening, because I know you guys do listen and you hating on me, but I know you listen. You got 3 steps to take today. In my opinion, it's just my opinion.
Yeah.
You don't got to do it. A, fire Adam Silver today.
Yeah.
He got to go. 2, suspend all betting on your league pending the outcome of the congressional investigation. Shut it down now.
Yeah.
And the third thing you do, put the games back on TV.
Yeah.
You do those 3 things, you can save your league. If you don't, and then a 4th thing with the asterisk. Scrap that FIBA shit. Scrap all that Euro plan. Scrap that now. Scrap it.
Yeah.
Scrap that.
Yeah.
That's an asterisk. That can be number 3 or 4. They can switch them out. But you got to do you got to do the first 2 now. You got to get rid of silver and you got to shut off the betting immediately. That is the only way you save integrity. And it is the only way, in my opinion, if I was to represent them years later with my license, I'm like, we got to fix your image, and we also got to show the court that you're taking drastic mitigating steps to fix this issue. But for the NBA, it may be too late. Because you know the FBI likes to pull out that toilet tissue roll on you. It comes with 1,000 sheets too. None of them which you can wipe your ass with.
No, it's not ultra. It's not Charmin Ultra. It's that sandpaper.
Oh no, it's that government issue. No, it ain't even that. This is government issue. It's notebook paper on a roll. Notebook paper on a roll. Okay.
Yeah.
And the NBA may be so far gone down this proverbial rabbit hole that even if they were to take the steps that I would tell them to take, which should be preemptively taken anyway, because that's what Congress is going to do anyway, or the courts. The courts are going to put an injunction against you, say that you can't run a sports league for 500 years. You know what happens to CEOs that this shit does, right? So when that CEO comes off of his yacht from kicking it with the models and realize that his brokers and loan officers have gone awry, he will get what's called an employment injunction against his ability to be the head or the CEO of any public or private company for X amount of years, if not banned for life, depending on the severity of the issue at hand. I fear that the NBA has walked down that path, my friend. I don't sit in class 6 hours a day for nothing. Yeah. I think the NBA has walked down that path, because if I'm incorrect, then throw my grades away. But don't. You see I'm nice. But the reality is simple. They walked down the path to Hell's Gate, and it was an automatic open door. They thought it was, we put our back against it and cover it, the devil won't come out. Nah, that's a grocery store door. It saw you coming. Bing! And I'll leave it at that. JB the Ticket dropping crazy.
All right, great having you on. Good points. We'll get you back on next week, hopefully. And maybe we'll know a little bit more about what's going on with all that shit. Maybe Silver will be gone by then.
They got to do something, man. But like I said, I fear it may be too late.
But if the NBA wants the gold, they got to get rid of the silver.
And we'll end on that. Daniel Cameron,
All right.
That's
You
it.
have
You
a
got the
great day.
last word.
All right. Have a great day. All right, guys. Thanks to JB coming on here. That was a good time. Gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Uh so the Bears, they're not, man, they threw a pick in their own area. So they were down 3, now they're back down 10. So they're probably not gonna come back in this game now, but the old Nell Painter threw an interception, unfortunately. But great to have you guys. We will be back next week. As always, guys, let's make some money. Let's have some fun doing it.